let's factor the trinomial 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Now this one's more complicated than the ones that just have x squared in the front. There's a coefficient in front of our squared variable, which means if you want to guess, you can try. I'm no good at guessing these harder ones that have a coefficient, a number in front of the x squared term. So I use the AC diamond method. Let me show you how this works. Model your given polynomial after ax squared plus bx plus c so that you can identify the a value, the b value, and the c value. So we have a equals 2, b equals 7, and c equals 6. Now take those values, and our first step, we're going to draw a diamond, and in the top diamond part of the diamond we're going to have a times c, and we're going to have a multiply sign, and at the bottom of our diamond we're going to have the b and the plus sign, and there's a blank diamond part in the middle, two blank middle parts that we're going to fill in just a moment. So let's plug in the numbers for a times c on the top of the diamond and the b on the bottom of the diamond. A times c, well, the a is 2, the c is 6. So a times c on the top would be 12, and then the b at the bottom will be positive 7. Now what does this mean? I'll put a blank in these empty spaces. We're searching for numbers to put in the blanks. And these numbers have to follow the rule that when you multiply them together, you move up towards the top where the multiplication symbol is in the circle. When you multiply these two numbers together, you'll get 12. And now move down. When you add these two numbers together, see where the plus sign is? When you add these two numbers together, you get 7. Okay, so we're going door to door asking for two numbers that multiply together to give you 12, but add together to give you 7. And there's only one pair of numbers that will do this. In this case, it turns out to be the numbers 3 and the number 4. And the reason we chose it once again is because the diamond tells us they have to multiply together to give us a top number and add together to give us the bottom number. And indeed they do. Now, what do we do once we have those two numbers? We are going to take the original question and extract the b times x term, and just put the first term and plus 6 at the end, the last term. So we left the middle term out. We're replacing the middle term with the sum of the two numbers we found on the sides of the diamond with x's. So it's a positive 3x plus the positive 4x. See, we replaced the 7x with plus 3x plus 4x, which is the same as 7x. Those are the two numbers we got from our diamond. Okay, now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, so we're going to factor by grouping. Out of the first two group, 2x squared plus 3x, we have a common factor of x. So we pull out the x, parenthesis, it leaves 2x plus 3. And you can distribute the x to make sure that it does equal what I've written, x times 2x plus 3. Just distribute multiplication by x. Now out of the second two terms, 4x plus 6, we have a common factor of, let's see, 2. Yeah, now 2 will work for us. We're trying to get a match on the parentheses. Look what happens. When we pull out the 2, it's going to leave a parenthesis, 2x to give us the 4x, plus 3 to give us the 6. Now look, our miracle occurred. We got a miracle factor in the parentheses, 2x plus 3 on the left, 2x plus 3 on the right. We now have a common factor, which I call the miracle factor, of 2x plus 3. We're going to pull that guy out in the front. So extract the 2x plus 3 and then put another set of parentheses. What remains when you strip away the 2x plus 3 parenthesis from the first part of this expression above? It leaves an x. Well, what's remaining when you strip the 2x plus 3 parenthesis away from the second part, the end of that line? It leaves a positive 2. So put that in the parenthesis. Now you can FOIL that to make sure your answer is good. I did it. Turned out it's a good answer. Well, I'll show you how I did it. I check by FOILing. First times first gives me 2x squared, plus outer times outer is 4x, plus inner times inner is 3x, plus last times last is 6. Combine the two inner terms, the like terms, and I get 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Well, that's exactly what my original question was, so this is good factoring. Go ahead and put the box around it, and we're finished.